Hey you, it's Marni, your very own personal wing girl, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to stop letting women win. But I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I do for my typical videos. I'm not in my bedroom. I'm not going to just be me on camera. Today, I am going to show you a wonderful interview that I did in my private members-only Facebook group that I'm going to give you access to today with an amazing man named Michael McNulty, who taught everybody in that group how to stop letting women win and take control of yourself and your dating life. So keep watching. We are here with Michael McNulty, who is a client of mine, but a client of mine who I feel has surpassed the teacher. And that's why I wanted to have him on this Facebook Live. As wonderful as it is to hear from other experts or other women, I think it's also crucial for you to hear from other guys who are just normal, who have jobs that have nothing to do with the dating industry, nothing to do with being self-help masters, just regular awesome guys like Michael McNulty. I'm giving you a nickname. I'm giving you a nickname, Multi. And Michael is going to share his experience about what he's learned and how he now that is just drawing women in. And I want you to tell people a little bit about where you were when we started working with each other.
Absolutely, Marni. Thanks so much, by the way, for having me on here.
Of course.
You know, I've had my nails and my hair done, so I'm all good to go. So no worries. But honestly, you know, I came from a space before I met you where I had done a lot of self-help. I grew from, oh my God, over the last couple of decades at least, personal growth work, working through any kind of self-beliefs that I had, any kind of issues I had to work through in regards to just being out in society in general, that we all have to work through. And the woman thing,
well, I want to touch on one of your beliefs before.
Yeah, one of my beliefs,
not attractive.
Yeah, like prior to this, a lot of guys suffer from this anyway, but big underconfidence beliefs, that's the number one killer in men. It really is. And that has many levels to it. Is I'm not good looking enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not suave enough. Don't make enough money. I'll never amount to anything. Oh my God, and all that stuff. And the self-beliefs have many levels, which are just basically, defeating anything you want to achieve. And I mean, not just in life, but since we're focusing on this genre of women, the big thing is unless I have all this stuff together, who on earth would want me? Who would even look in my direction? Oh my God, they'd be like giving me the keys to go park their car, type of thing. And so having worked on myself and gotten over a lot of these self-confidence issues, I kind of thought, well, okay, this is good. I'm kind of in the clear. This is great, And then I start to discover that it's yeah, you're kind of in the clear to a degree.
Right.
But it wasn't until I discovered that I had to use tricks and gimmicks and lines and work harder and find my way to maneuver around the obstacles of dating and being with a woman, that when I would finally be with somebody, I was so exhausted that I was like, oh my God, I had to dodge this monster, and I had to avoid this car and this truck and the knives that are thrown at me and all this stuff. And I think at one point, I was saying to you in a phone call that, I'm just tired of having to be someone else in order to achieve this. and work this hard. And a lot of that would come also in deception, being that, okay, I'm out with somebody, figuring out, okay, who do you want me to be in order for me to have you? Okay, fine, I'll put on this mask. I'll put on this outfit. Whatever it would take for me not to be myself, rather to be that person that I think you, yes, you in particular, across my table, are going to want me to be, that you've always wanted someone to be in order for you to be with me. A lot of bees. So, and I think I told you, I think on our first phone call, that it's like, okay, I'm just tired of this stuff, man. It's like, I can't do this anymore. But at the same time, I was thinking, well, here are the reasons and that this has been so hard for me, which again is like, well, again, not good looking enough, not suave enough, not this enough, not that enough. And like, okay, hang on a sec, give me a minute. I got up my list over here. Let me just get it. It's in the big banker's box here, full of why this is not working for me. And I remember seeing it was one of your those YouTube video ads that you can skip in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it was you coming on, and just when I was ready to say skip ad to look at the video I was going to be looking at, just what you had to say and the way you said it made me stay. And I was like, who is this? Because usually you get people that say, this is what will drop the panties off women. You say this, she's yours. You say that, she's yours. You do this, and I'm like, yeah, but wait a minute. What about me? Like, what about who I am? And so I saw your stuff, went to your website, and you were offering more of a way, and for me, because I'm very psychological minded, very science minded, you were offering these constructive ways to realize your own personality and your own self-worth, and how that is the attraction for someone. Not what you say, not what you do, not what you, here, let me show you this circus trick I can do. How's this? And I was like, okay, I got to find out more what this girl's saying, because this is amazing. So I'm a sort of, it's a British saying, and since you and I are both from Toronto, we both know this saying is, in for a penny, in for a pound. And so I just dove in completely, and I think I bought almost every course.
Oh my God, you did. And you dove into every podcast. I started quoting from podcasts that I did 5 years ago. I'm like, and
yeah,
I remember that. That was so long ago.
Yeah, and it was like, I quote them to you, and I think you said, I did? I said that?
Yeah.
Because it was
I'm a genius. Thank you.
Yeah. So I just listened and listened and listened, and I mean, literally, I'd be in the gym, headphones on. Guess who I'm listening to? It's not rock. It's not AC/DC. It's Marni, as I'm lifting, and everything was making sense. Except what was happening was it was bringing up a lot of anger and frustration for me. That realizing what I had to do. So usually with guys, it's so backwards, but usually it's kind of like, well, I really want to blame myself. So let's blame the women. Oh my God, they want money. Oh my God, they want looks. They want this. They want that. They want to be taken care of and all this stuff. And it's like, you know what? That is total garbage. I can say that now at the stage I'm at. It's like, look, that's with people in general. Men, women, boys, girls, even the elderly, that's just people in general. It's not just restricted to women. So start learning all your stuff, and it wasn't until, and I keep forgetting his name, so I wrote it down. I went into one of your podcasts with this guy, and it wasn't until you had It was the deal breaker for me. The pivotal point of me saying, wow, this is up to me now. This has nothing to do with how women are, they aren't, anything. And it was an interview you had with Dr. Ben Carney. And it was in one of your courses about becoming a man women want. And it was discovering yourself. It was one of the bonus ones, so kind of like easy to slip by. And he's just amazing because he scientifically, through his psychological studies and all this stuff, started dissecting how people are in general psychologically in their choices of partners. And I listened to this guy, I listened to podcasts 5 times in a row, realizing that, hey, this is all up to me whether I want to make this work or not work. And why is it so important to me that it does work? How is it proving my self-worth and my self-value and defeating self-beliefs and all that stuff? And I was like, you know what? I'm not so bad. Like, I think I'm actually pretty good. So why is the opinion of someone else so crucial in believing who I am or who I'm not? And I just discovered that, you know what, it's really not, because you're the only one really who is going to decide your own self-worth. Not someone who you ask out for a date, not someone you approach in a bar or whatever the case is. It's us. We are the ones that say, we are worth it.
We are.
We are not worth it. We need to work on it. We don't want you to work on it. I watched one of your, you had a live seminar, I think probably years ago, but, and the guys that were in there were, you had like a little thing about, okay, approach me. And he approached you. And even though it was you pretending to be just someone he approached, the guy was so scared of, wow, her opinion of me is going to tell me everything about who I'm not or I am. Oh my God.
I love that. That is exactly it.
And then if she says, I'm so sorry, no, or basically the answer is no, then what he hears is, you are totally worthless. I would not even spend 1 second of my time with you. And it's like, buddy, relax. Okay, one person not paying attention to you does not dictate who you actually are. And I listened to this guy, Ben Carney, and just realizing that it's like, look, this is who I am. You like me, you don't like me, it doesn't matter, because you know what? I'm Mike McNulty. And end of story. I like, I've worked on myself. I like who I am. I like what I can present. I don't need to say a line. I don't need to fool you. I don't need to make you think that I'm something that I'm actually not. And all that stuff. And once I listened to this and I really thought about it, everything changed. That was about, what was that, about 3-4 months ago, I think. And then after that, I would just say, you know what? Screw this. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Approaching people in a way that, approaching women, and actually people too, because it applies with guys as well. Hey, how you doing? And approaching women in a way that's just like, hi, and the responses. I'm floored. I'm still floored. I have a running joke with you about, I go to Ralph's just to buy groceries for myself, and then I am talking to at least 2 people, and
even now with masks. Even now with masks.
Even now with masks. I was in when I was in Ralph's. I didn't tell you about this one. I'm in Ralph's, and a very attractive woman is looking for things, and she turned around, and I was kind of right there, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she said, "Oh, she excused herself," and I said, "Hey, no problem, And I said, don't you hate this? And she said, what? I said, I can never tell when people are smiling, and I have a feeling you have got one of the most amazing smiles, but I just can't see it, and it's killing me. And oh man, even though I could see half her face, it was like totally blushed red, and oh my gosh, thank you so much. I said, but you know what? I can see your gorgeous eyes, so they just kind of tell me about the rest of you. And it's not to achieve anything. It's not to like, okay, if I say this, all right, now when am I going to hit her with the, let's go out, and here's my name, and no, I'm just doing it to do it. And the response is just,
People are drawn to you.
Yeah, and
when you open yourself up to others without wanting anything from them, they latch on.
It's totally, which tells me about the intuitive part of women in regards to they can tell either way. And it's like, if you approach them with, okay, I listened to this guy and he said use this line, I listened to this guy, he said be this way, and da 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 da, and you know what, it's like, don't bother, they'll see you coming a mile away. They really will. The body language is the body language will be written all over you, and the story. But if they see you just like, hey, I'm talking to you like I would talk to any other human being, and having me leave it with them as far as their attraction is concerned, it's like creating this safe space right in the moment for a woman to make up her mind either way what she wants to do. She wants to continue the conversation, she wants to just go away, whatever the case is. And honestly, like, I'm indifferent either way, only because I don't have the need for the acceptance to prove my self-worth. Because personally, I think acceptance externally to prove your own self-worth is the worst path you can go through, because everyone on the planet is going to have a different opinion of you.
Absolutely.
Everybody, which means you're going to be gyrating all over the place like crazy. Like, one day this person loves me, the next day that person hates me. You can go insane. But what is stable is your opinion of yourself.
Right.
If it's like, hey, you know what, I'm fantastic. I've got my education, I got life experience, I got this, I got that. I got this multicultural attitude maybe, and things like that. When you have all that going on, and it's like, yeah, you know what, I'm a good package for anybody. Then when you walk around, that's true confidence. I think. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think that there are a certain things that you do need to have in your life to be able to feel the way that you do? Like, let's say there is somebody, okay, so could you be unemployed, living with your parents, and a lot of people are doing that right now based on circumstance, and still feeling the way that you're feeling? Or do you believe that you have to have some other external things to get you to that place?
I think you have to have the desire for them and to have a plan for them. Like, if you're happy living in your parents' basement watching reruns of Star Trek, and you're gaming all day long with your buddies online, and you couldn't run up the stairs without collapsing because you're so out of shape, with no goals in life, I say, yeah, you know what, maybe it's not a good idea trying to, escalate with somebody. Because whether it's a woman or a man, they want someone in their life who says, hey, I got plans. I got self plans. It would be really cool if they included you. But this is where I'd like to go. And even if you're unemployed, live with your parents, it's like, yeah, but you know what? I'm taking online courses because I have this desire to be doing this as a living, but I need to get this. So And hey, guess what I also do? I volunteer. Since I don't work, I volunteer, try to help people. And so if you're working on yourself, even though you don't have these other things already established, you know what? Women are the type that will say, that's the kind of guy I want. I want the kind of guy who's looking up, who's not looking down. Because that means that if he's looking down, I feel like I got to take care of this guy.
And he's not seeing her. You
That's
just word things so well.
That's a kiss of death.
You have like amazing nuggets from this entire conversation of ways that you phrased things that I think just like really
thank you.
To make sense. Yeah.
So I mean, there's certain kisses of death for a guy with regards to approaching women or wanting to get involved with somebody. That's one of them. The other one is approaching a woman with wanting something. If you want something, it means you're lacking something. And again, a woman doesn't want to be your mother. If you're lacking something, it's kind of like, so do you expect me to fill the space? Like, I don't think so. Because I've always told a lot of my male friends that, if the first stage with any interaction with a woman, it's like one of those 101 things, is she needs to feel safe. If a woman cannot feel safe initially, you're never getting past first base. And then you have to examine, well, what makes a woman feel safe? Well, it always helps when she's with a guy who understands himself to the point where, hey, you know what? I don't need you in my life. I would like you in my life. Mm-hmm. And I think I sent you different emails regarding my thoughts like on true confidence. And I mean, I tried to fake confidence. I don't know how. I mean, I used to practice in front of the mirror, with these affirmations. I am confident. I am good. I am. And it's like, 10 seconds later, it's kind of like, oh my God, I'm nothing. But one of the biggest things was, I'm gonna pitch you here, okay? Is, compared to what else is going on out there, you were the first individual who said, I am not going to teach you what or how to do something. I'm going to teach you who you need to be psychologically, to be able to approach a woman and have her even just think about being with you. And that was the difference, because everything for me is like psychological, because that's the way society works, is how we interact with each other psychologically. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, okay, this is it. And then you have these amazing guests on that are saying, hey, guys, guess what? This is kind of what we would like in a guy. Like, and you have very honest people on there who aren't going to string anybody along, saying, look, this is what we like. This is what we want. Why can't you guys be like this? And again, but if you don't have that basic belief in yourself of, hey, I've worked on myself. I'm aware. I understand what goes on around me in life and all that stuff, and I don't need anybody. I would like somebody. I don't need them. And when because again, I listen to your stuff, and I still do. Honestly, it's like, for me, I compare it to learning a language that I never knew before. So if I'm going to say, learn Francais, okay, learn French, it's okay. I listen to the tapes. Okay, that's fine. But if I don't take what I learn on the tapes and immerse myself in a French community, I'll forget this stuff tomorrow. I got to practice out in the community with it. And I have to come back to the tapes and maybe listen to the same tape again for reaffirmation of information. So I constantly am listening. As a matter of fact, I listened to something this morning when I was at the gym, kind of get my mindset for what we're doing right now. And it was listening to, I can't remember her name, but like supermodel quality and all that stuff, and having her say like, oh, you think it's just a party every day being attractive. It's not. And she came across as a very natural person. And I just listen to your stuff over and over and over, and it's never redundant, because it's like when you watch a movie and you say, oh my God, I never noticed that before, and I've watched this movie 6 times. And I'll listen to your stuff, and all of a sudden someone will just say something, and the inflection and the tone, and I'm like, Jesus, I actually never thought about that. And I'm always trying to improve my inner skills in that regard. But I mean, just as a sort of a sum up, it's like, look, work on yourself. And this for men and women, really, but since we're in this genre, work on yourself to develop a package that you find attractive. Forget about women. Look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, hey, if I met you on the street and started talking to you, would you like me? And you're looking in the mirror talking to yourself, and you have to be honest. And if the mirror says, buddy, I hate to burst your bubble, but man, you got to get out more. You got to listen to current events more, maybe, or have a solid opinion about things. One of the things that you always stress is, don't be what you think she wants to be, or don't say what you think she needs to hear in order for you to get to the place where you think you need to get. Because that is another kiss of death. Because now you're just a lackey. I mean, it's like you're the valet guy. You're the butler. Like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, absolutely, ma'am. You're absolutely correct, ma'am. And she's just looking at us like, oh my God, this guy's got no life. He's got no opinion. He's got no life. He's got I need a guy who's going to stimulate my synapses by saying, I got to tell you, I don't particularly agree with what you just said. Would you like me to tell you why? Yes or no? That type of thing where now she's like, oh my God, there's something going on in that guy's head. I think I need to see if there's more good stuff, because that was pretty good, and develop yourself that way. Have the self-knowledge that you've worked on purpose to be attracted to it. Because I mean, there's so many guys who just drift through life thinking that, hey, like Popeye, I am what I am. Give me my can of spinach, What do you think? Yeah? Okay, good. No. And also taking into consideration, and I was thinking about this during all this time I've been listening to your stuff, is that the female guests that you have on, like, your selection is amazing, because they demonstrate that in today's society, women are getting so incredibly more intelligent, liking their intellect even more, liking the fact that they can choose because of that intellect they develop. And therefore, because of all that, guys, they're going to be more selective about who they invite into their life. So you just can't rely anymore on, like, check out the bod, check out me, this and this. They're like, sweetheart, I get that 20 times a day. Tell me something, literally, it's a big kind of a cliche expression. Tell me something I don't know.
Right.
I mean, how many times have you heard that from people that are okay, you're boring me. Tell me something I don't know. And that's how I approach any kind of date, any kind of thing going on. It's like, yeah, I want to tell you what you don't know. The biggest example being, you said this many times in some of your podcasts. Someone, let's call it a bar environment. Someone's sitting at a bar. Okay, and she's thinking, well, actually, some guys don't know, but I know. Please, not one more guy coming up to me and saying, oh, you're so hot. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And to the point where now, if you ever think of approaching her that way, she's numb. Like from the neck up now, she's numb because it's like a record that keeps skipping. And all of a sudden you're in this numb headspace. She's going to need someone that comes up and says, so how's the evening going? Or if she's at the bar, you can say, is there any kind of, who's your favorite server back here? Because I kind of don't feel like waiting all night. Did you have that experience? How do you find it here? Something different to kind of like stop the record skipping.
Right.
And even that sort of thing, like even you had a thing on, I think it came up last week, how to approach a woman in the gym. And having been in the gym for like a long time, you literally don't approach her like it's a bar, for example. It's kind of like, I mean, any time I've been lucky at a gym, it's because I've said, you know what, I got to tell you, your form puts all these guys to shame. I have never seen anyone with form that good during their stuff. And it's just, I can't even tell you the reaction. So things like that, you try to make yourself attractive by her thinking, wow, this is unique. Women like unique things. They love unique things. But especially, like I said, today women are becoming, and women are wanting to become more intellectual, which creates more of a feeling of amazing independence. So now they have the choice to pick and choose. Well, if that's the case, offer a good choice.
Perfect place to end.
Yeah.
I could listen to you talk for hours. Sorry,
I
knew I was going to sit back and say nothing. I love everything that you have to say. Your wording is perfection. And I knew that you were going to deliver some great messages to the guys that were watching today. There weren't a lot of people watching live, which is totally wonderful, which is totally okay, because I'm going to post this so that more guys get to see it, and they are going to absolutely love you, as I do. I think you are one of my favorite people. So I'm so thankful for you and that you agreed to come on and talk to people. Yeah, I don't know if you want to promote anything. I don't know if you do.
You know what? No, you know what? The only thing I want to promote, literally is you. And, I'm going to leave this with the guys. I'm going to leave this with the guys. Okay, look. When you're listening to Marni and her guests and her podcasts and the PDFs that she has out on things, okay, it's not a gimmick. It's not a trick. It's not a bypass to the bed. Okay, it's bona fide stuff to actually make you as a person, regardless of women, like, my God, take women out of the equation. The more you want this dating, this woman thing, okay, the more you'll be fixated on just that and you'll lose yourself. Listen to her stuff on how to become just a better man, a better person. When you're a better man, and you're a better person, you know what? This women's stuff, it's going to take care of itself on its own. You won't have to work as hard as I did. Oh my God. You know, you won't have to sweat bullets every time you're approaching somebody. Because you know that it's like, hey, I've worked on myself. I've changed this, I've changed that. And, you know, I'm not so much desperate and I'm this and this. So now when you approach someone, you approach them like, you know what? I think you'll like me. You know what? As a matter of fact, let's find out. And have fun. I'm having so much fun just talking to women. And even if it's just an interaction that absolutely goes nowhere beyond it, it doesn't matter. The energy will build up inside of you and make you say, wow, you know what, this is great. And now you have the choice as opposed to the other way around. So just, guys, have fun. Have fun. Have fun and listen to this woman right here over and over and over and get over yourself.
I love that. Michael, thank you so much for coming on. And I hope everybody enjoyed this. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments about this.
I can't wait.
Of saying, yeah, this, people love when I loved it. And I know Ian did as well. And I'm sure other people did too. When you said her opinion of me will tell me who I'm not. And I loved how you phrased that, because that is exactly what's going on internally for so many people. That basically her reaction to you internalize that as who you are, that you are not good enough. And that's too much power to give to a stranger. I love that in this entire time with each other, you talked about how to take that power back so that you are in the position of selector. You are the one who knows your self-worth, and that doesn't get rattled very easily by a complete stranger. Again, thank you for being on this call with me.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. Next week, we have an amazing Tantra teacher, Lucia, who is coming on at 10 a.m. Pacific on Thursday. So I hope people will tune in for that. And she's going to have a whole presentation about some Tantra moves and Tantra things. I don't even know how to describe Tantra. But she's going to show you things that you can do in the bedroom and how to be a better lover using Tantra. But Michael, hopefully you'll be on that call as well. But
I'm already there.
So much for being on. With Michael, I definitely did. And again, this was from my private members only Facebook group. And if you want to become a member of my private members only Facebook group, then here's what you got to do. All you have to do is go and buy one of my programs. You go to winggirlmethod.com, you go to the training programs page, I think that's what it's called, and you buy one program. Whether it's $7, $99, $197, you buy one program and you get free access to it. As soon as you purchase the program, you can, most likely you'll get instructions on how to join that members group for free. But if you don't, you write my support team, you show them your receipt, and boom, you have instant access to that group and the weekly free interviews that I have every Thursday with amazing people like Michael. Most of them are experts. Others are really hot women that I bring on to talk to you, but that give you the tips, tools, and skill sets that you need to be the attractive man to women that you've always wanted to be. Anyway, enough yammering on. Go to winggirlmethod.com, go to the training programs page, and buy one of my programs, and you will get instant access. I will see you next week.